This is my app, Task Taker, and I created it because I was having a lot of trouble with project management type situations, and everything that I used had some kind of thing that I didn't like about it. And so I wanted to build a platform where people could collaborate and observe where people were at with things and be able to kind of strip down the social media-y aspect of a lot of task management apps. So I'll take y'all in as Oscar Tidy Smith. And it says, Welcome to Task Taker when you come in, and you can view the list of tasks. And here you can see lists that you've created, but then also you can peer in and see what other people are doing. So if we want to see what Lazy Lenny's been up to, we can click on Procrastination Party and see that Lenny's been avoiding doing anything and just been kind of going through these different things. To see that it's on the Procrastination Party list. They've started it, so they've started avoiding doing everything. And they estimated that it would take about 240 minutes, and they only have done it so far for 21 minutes, and they're not done with it. So we'll go back and add a task list. And so we can have this task list be called Killing It, because Oscar is very tidy and has all their stuff in order. So we go on to Killing It. There's no task here yet, but we can add one. So the title of this task is To Get Good Sleep. Number one step for killing it. So for this task, more details on that is that we're going to get some sleepy time tea from the store to get ready for bed. We'll add it to our Killing It task list, but if we decided it belonged in energy exploits per se, we could add it to that task list as well. But we'll add it to Killing It for now. We've planned it because we've planned going to the store so far. It'll probably take I don't know, maybe 180 minutes if the store's down the block. We haven't done it yet, so we won't add how long it took, and we won't mark it as complete. And so it brings us back to our master list, and we can go to Killing It and see Get Good Sleep by Organize Oscar, and then say that we actually went and did it, say it actually took 30 minutes. We were super speedy about it. We can mark it as complete and check the completed box. And then here it is. We'll see it updated. And then once it's done, if you don't need to keep it for any record keeping purposes, then you can delete it. And then if you're done killing it, you're over it, you can update it as no longer killing it. But if you're completely done with that list, you can just have it be gone completely and delete it. And then you can log out and decide to be someone else in this task app, or log back in as yourself.
Good morning, everybody. I am Darrin, here to show you DARcare, which is a revolutionary new EHR, or electronic health record system. It's going to be an application that hospitals, clinics use to treat patients and keep track of information about the patient. So to begin with, we have our login screen here. Our facility is called St. Sarah's Regional Medical Center, named after our NewForce instructor, Sarah, of course. But it's just a basic login. One thing I want to point out is that we do not have a register because that is going to be controlled centrally by an admin. We don't want someone to walk in off the street into the hospital, sign up, get access to all the patient information. I'm not going to allow that here. So you'll see at the end, that's going to be controlled by an admin. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to log in as one of our nurses here. I'm going to be Jane Doe, the nurse. Let me put in Jane's credentials. Okay. And when we log in, we are presented with our home screen. Now, it's a quick disclaimer. All this patient information is randomly generated. Throwing that out there. These are all fake people. If you see your own information up there, then it's just a coincidence, trust me. But we are presented with our home screen. We have a few different options for what Jane, the nurse, can do. And we also have kind of the centerpiece, which is going to be our active patients table here. This is going to show an encounter or a visit for every patient that we have here in the hospital. The first feature I'd like to show is our department feature, which is kind of used for filtering. So currently, Jane's department is set to general. Jane can see every patient in the hospital on her active patients table. But if we wanted to, we could change that. We just click on change department, select the department we want to go to. We could go to the emergency room. And if I do that, I only see patients who are here for an emergency visit. I could see like maternity. Boom, there's our maternity ward. So you can go to a different department and just kind of filter the patients that you're seeing. And if I change it back to general, which is what I'm going to do for Jane, then I'm once again viewing all the patients here in the hospital. So within our active patient chart, again, line by line, we see various encounters or visits for a patient. I can go into the chart for that encounter, which is going to show me details for their specific visit, why they're here today. Let's look at Mr. Peter Bober. Let's look at his chart. So we get some just basic information about Peter and information about his encounter. So when was he admitted? 3:14, 9:43 p.m., stuff like that. We also see a treatment history for him. So what have we done to Peter since he's been here? Gave him some blood glucose testing, gave him a wound debridement, and if this was a closed encounter, he's currently here at the hospital, but if he was discharged, we'd have the time he was discharged as well. So that's examining a specific visit. If we wanted to, we could look at his file. So that's going to be information about him, again, just general basic demographic information, but also an encounter history. Peter actually only has this one encounter, but if I go to a patient who's been here several times, let's look at Mr. Jordan Dillon. We can actually see she has several encounters going back all the way to 1998. So just like that chart I showed you for Peter Bober, I could go into any of these and see things relating to Jordan's current visit here. All right, so in addition to that, we have a patient database. This is going to include all of our patients. And we got like 4,000 in here. That's a lot. If I wanted to find someone specifically, I could go scrolling. That will take forever. Probably don't want to do that. So we have a search functionality. We can go by last name, first name, or date of birth. So let's look for, I like using Jackson here because it's the first name and last name. You see, as I start typing, looking for Jackson, it starts whittling people down until we only have our Jacksons there. And I can do the same thing. If I wanted to do it as a last name, boom, there, we only have one Jackson, Mr. Zeke Jackson. And from this database, we can launch into that same file I showed you before. Zeke actually has no encounter history, which means he probably went to another hospital in our health system. He's never been to this hospital, but I have information about him if I want to register him in the future. And on that note, let's actually look at doing a registration. So we are the nurse Jane Doe, and we have a new patient coming into the hospital. What I would like to do is register that patient. So I'll click on it, register patient. And the first thing that we have is a patient search. If I try to do it without putting in my information, it says, hey, can't do that, got to fill it in. So let's do that. I'll show you what it looks like for a patient we already have. We saw Mr. Peter Bober before. And if I put in Peter's information, he was born 12/14/1977, and he is a male, then it'll give me that match. So the match found Peter Bober. And I can confirm that is the patient. And if I wanted to, I could go create another account for him. But let's take a look at what it does if we have a brand new patient. So I'll take out Peter's information, and we have a brand new patient coming in. So here we're just kind of doing the registration process you're probably used to if you've been to the hospital. Getting your name, date of birth. In real life, we have social security number, things like that, just your basic information. I'm going to search. And for Miss Martha Flanderson, there is no patient here. So we're going to add her as a patient. I want to click add, and this is a reminder, this will create a new patient. The scourge of an EHR is going to be creating duplicate patients. We don't want to do that. So I get a warning, verified name, date of birth are correct, spelling, everything like that. Martha says, yep, all her information is correct. I'm going to add her. And then once we do that, we have a match for Martha. And now I can continue adding her encounter. So when is she coming in? Right now, March 18th. Where is she going? Sorry, Martha, I'm going to send you to the emergency room, and we'll select a specific room for her to go to. I'll take her to ER room 7, submit. And once I do that, you can see our brand new patient we made, Martha Flanderson, here in the ER. She's in this room. And just like any other patient, I can go to her chart. Since I'm a nurse, Jane Doe, and I'm qualified to do this, I can add a treatment for her. One thing I love doing is adding saline to people. So I click add treatment, select from a list of different procedures that we have here, all kinds of things. If I wanted to, I could search by typing, but I'm just going to give her some saline. I'm going to select the time I'm doing that, which is right now, put in some notes. Submit that, and boom, we have a treatment history. And if I decide, hey, she's looking a lot better after that saline, I can discharge her, click that, it'll take me back to my active patient list, and you can see she is no longer there. That's pretty much everything that we can do as a member of the medical staff. I have one more quick functionality to show you. So I'm going to log out as Jane Doe. I'm going to log in as Robert Smith, who is an administrator. So let me input his credentials here. So I talked before, we don't have like a place for you to sign up yourself. We have an administrator do that at the IT help desk. I'm going to log in as Robert Smith. And in addition to the buttons that our nurse had, I also have an admin panel. I have a place here where I can manage my staff. So if I click on manage, I can see lists of all of my staff here. Perhaps we just hired a new employee. So me, Robert, the administrator, I'm going to add a new staff member. And let me just think up some stuff here. I keep using the last name Flanders. I guess I like that name. I've been watching The Simpsons a lot. So Jack Flanders, no medical credentials. We'll make him like a member of the registration staff. Give him the username. Give him a password. Nobody look at this because it's confidential. We do not want you impersonating Jack Flanders. And then what kind of employee is Jack? He could be like a doctor, nurse. We're not going to give him full admin rights. Nope, no way. He's going to be clerical, so like an office worker. If I submit that, then you can see, in addition to Paul Flanders, we have Jack Flanders right here. And he's added. I can manage him if I want. If I wanted to edit something, oops. And if I wanted to edit him, I could do that. If we have a lot of employees here, I have the same search functionality that you saw in the patient database. So if I'm looking for Jack, I can find him there. But if Jack does something like reveals confidential HIPAA information and we have to fire him, we can also do that by clicking delete on Jack, and he is out of there. So that is pretty much it from both a medical staff perspective and an administrative staff perspective. Any questions for anybody?
Hi, my name is Juan. Welcome to Jeweletta, my full-stack web application built with React.js and ADO.NET. My client Jewel is an artist looking for a way to get her artwork out to the world. This app provides a platform for Jeweletta to showcase her work and manage her gallery. Users can explore a range of her artwork, add items to their shopping cart, and complete an order. This is the login page where users can sign up for a free account to browse and purchase Jeweletta's art pieces online. Jeweletta can also log in as an owner/administrator to manage her gallery. Let's pretend to be Jewel and sign in to manage her gallery. For demo purposes, I've already created an owner account, so I'm going to fill out the email and password fields. Underneath, we see the login button. Let's click that to log in. Once logged in, notice in the top in the navigation bar, we see gallery management. Let's click that. Once we click that, we're directed to a gallery management page. Here we can add new paintings, edit, delete, and view. Let's take a quick look. For demo purposes, I'm going to edit the first painting by clicking the yellow edit button here on our right. Once we click that, we're taken to an edit page where you can see the painting details that we can edit. I want to edit the title, so I'm going to click on title, and I'm going to edit. To save our work, we're going to click the blue save button down below. Once we click save, we're taken to a gallery management page again. And here we can see that the title was successfully edited. As a user, I want to view these paintings, so let's switch to views and log out using the log out button in the navigation bar here on our right. So we click log out, we're back to the login page. As a user, we can log in. I've already created a user account, so let me fill out these fields. Email and password, and click login below. As a user, we're taken to the home page here. Notice the gallery item here in the navigation bar. Let's click on that. Once we click on that, we're taken to the art gallery page where we can discover beautiful paintings for sale. Here we can browse Jeweletta's artwork. For more details on a painting, we can click the more details link here. Let's click this, more details. And we're taken to a more detailed page. As a user, I like this and I want to add this to my cart. So we're going to click the add to my cart button. Where a window to confirm comes up, we're going to click OK to continue. Notice the my cart in the navigation now has a 1, meaning one item in my cart. Let's go click that to check it out. Now we're directed to the My Shopping Cart page. Here we can see what is in the shopping cart with the subtotal on our right. As a user, I want to browse more, so we can go back using this go back button. We return back to the art gallery page where we can browse some more. As a user, I want something more expensive, so let's come down here. Click more details. I like this one, so we're going to add this to my cart again. Click OK to continue. And now we notice there's 2 items now in a My Cart navigation bar. Let's click on that. Here we can see that our items have successfully been added to the My Cart. And our subtotal has changed. As a user, I do not have 250, so I may need to delete an item. In order to delete, we find the red delete button and click on that on the item you want deleted. I'm going to remove the first one. Click OK to continue. And our item was successfully removed from the shopping cart. And the subtotal has changed as well. As a user, I like this. I want to proceed to checkout. So we click proceed to checkout here on our right. We click OK to confirm. And we're taken to an order confirmation page. As a user, my job has been completed. I have ordered my painting that I wanted, and I'm going to log out. And I am finished. Thank you very much for watching my presentation. My contact info is below. Please email me with any questions. Thank you.
Can everyone see my screen? Okay. So my app is called Test Your Strength. It is to help language learners with their proficiency, and it's based off the CEFRL, which is the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, which is a fancy way of saying seeing how much you know in a language. So if we enter, we're able to choose our fighter, which is Mandarin Chinese or Spanish. And I picked these two because they are the two languages I really enjoyed learning the most out of all the ones that I've picked up over the years. And I wanted to pick one from each category of FSI, which is the Foreign Service Institute. Basically, Spanish is level 1 because it is easier for English language learners to make it to professional working proficiency in the least amount of time, while Mandarin Chinese, it's a little bit longer for, I would think, obvious reasons. But if we go into Spanish, you're able to choose a level. And if you look at this and you're like, what do these words mean? You can actually go back and click. And essentially, A1 means that you can use familiar everyday expressions, very basic phrases, while C2 is can understand basically everything that's said. So if we go back, we'll start with Chinese, and we'll go with A1. And this is saying, hi, how are you? So I'll answer, I'm good. This is asking if I've eaten today, and yes, I ate this morning. And this is a common phrase that beginner Chinese users learn when they first start learning Chinese. And it basically says, Mom scolds the horse. And it's to differentiate between the tones. So if you submit, you get told the correct answer total and jackpot. But if I went to Chinese and I went into the hardest, ooh, I have no idea what this says. Oh, well, we'll just have to keep trying. But I built this app because I'm passionate about languages, and it's the reason that I got into software development to begin with. I wanted to have something that I would be able to test my own proficiency with. Because right now, in Mandarin Chinese, I'd say I'm about an A2. Maybe the same with Spanish. I need to practice more. But from the account page, you're able to see the admin. And admin are able to go in and they're able to edit each user. And they can also delete if they so choose.
Capstone project, which is called Decidify. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, fantastic. So Decidify is a content suggestion and recommendation platform that leads to amazing content discoveries. You can think of it like a tool belt or a tool in your tool belt against the paradox of choice. What do I mean by paradox of choice? I mean, you log into Netflix and it has 7 million movies it wants you to watch right now. You log into Spotify, it says, oh, you listen to one song, here's 7 million other songs you might listen to. Sometimes having so many options does not make it easier to choose, especially if you're someone with strange anxiety and depression like myself, but I think more neurotypical individuals feel that as well. So let's jump in and see what's going on. Let's register for a new account so you can see what it would be like joining this app. And something that has been giving me particular satisfaction recently has been signing up classical artists for this app. So we're going to go ahead and continue that trend and sign up Wolfgang Amadeus, Mozart, and he's gonna be Wolfie. He's gonna say his display name is Wolfie. He does not want to share his suggestions publicly at this time. Very private person, that Wolfgang. And we'll just get him all set up here. I have got a nice little profile picture for him as well. He's really navigating this registration process very well for never having seen any level of technology before. But here's the main screen. So it welcomes us by our display name, and we have our 4 different content hubs that we can get suggestions from different databases from. We have movies, TV shows, music, and books. So let's just take a quick look at each of those content hubs. They all look and work very similarly, even though they're attached to different APIs and databases. But if you go to a content hub, when you've just signed up, you have 3 different things you can do on each content hub. You can get a suggestion from your database by filling out this form up here. Anything that you've saved, any suggestions that you've saved from getting a suggestion will show here in a carousel once you've saved stuff. But if you haven't saved anything, it'll kind of give you a light encouragement to get out there and start saving some content. And then if you want to add one manually yourself, you can come down here to this form on any content hub and add one in directly as well. So we're in Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's account. You know what this guy wants to do? He wants to find some classical music. He's tired of listening to his own stuff. He wants to hear some new stuff. So let's take this for a roll and see how this goes. So we have all of the different genres and types that we could select from. I mean, he might be feeling in a hip hop mood, but let's keep him in the classical. And when we select that, we can click Decidify Music for me, and we'll get this big image popping up right here that we click to reveal our new favorite album. Let's see what it's got for our pal Mozart. It has the Orchestra Philharmonica de Minas Gerais. And, you know, if we want to see more details, the music ones don't have too many more details, but they do have a link out here to the discogs.com review of the album itself. So we can click that and we'll see it. I'm just going to close this for right now. We can show that later. Let's say that Mozart's really interested in this. Right when we click save, we're going to see it appear down here in this carousel. And let's say that he really loved this. He's going to go ahead and say, yes, I would like to recommend this. And you'll see a nice little glowing background there to show us whether or not Mozart recommends this or not. Let's go ahead and get some more suggestions in here. I just want to show you what the carousel looks like as it fills up. As you can see, they're all getting added in here as we save the suggestions. Let's just get enough where we can kind of toggle through this. So I think we need one more. Perfect. Wow, what an amazing album cover to land on for our last one. These guys I am absolutely recommending this if I am Mozart. So our newest ones are always appearing here on the left side of the carousel, as we can see. So yes, we recommend this. Let's say we weren't a fan of these ones. We could just leave them down there. And if we ever forget any of these things, like, hey, what was this one that I did recommend? We can click it and just get a nice little modal pop out of just the details of this. So that's how the content suggestions work. Let's pop over to the movies one. And again, since we are in Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's account, let's stick to the theme here. We're going to add a little movie called Amadeus. And the director was Milos Forman. We have got the synopsis right over here. Let's plug it in here. I've also got the poster art that we can plug in here. And similar to like the form worked above, right when we click add to my library, we will see it populate into the carousel. Of course, we want to recommend Amadeus. And this, you'll see a little bit more of what that details view can give us for books and TV shows and movies. We'll actually get a more descriptive description of the plot and what happened in the movie so that we can review that. Okay, so that's how the content hubs work. Let's take a quick look at Mozart's profile, see how that's going. Oh, wow, he's looking real cool right now. We do want to switch this to make it a public profile so people can subscribe to his suggestions if they so choose. So we're going to update that. And actually, you know what, just to give it a little bit of a pop when we save this, maybe he says, this isn't a very realistic picture of me. I want to update that as well. When we update that, we will see that his profile is now public and he's got a little cooler of a picture that looks a little more like Mozart than that other picture. The last thing I want to show y'all is the social wall. That's how we kind of bring all of this content suggestion and recommendation into a community building space around things that a lot of times we're consuming this content alone or just in our homes. Maybe we want to share it with the world and tell people whether we like it or not and have a little bit of fun. That's where we would go to the social wall. So we can make two different types of posts here that I want to show you. We have some activity going on here already, but I'll just show you the two different types of posts that we can make. So let's say Mozart's just trying to introduce himself. He says, "Hey there, let the party begin." And he wants to do a nice little GIF that he found because he's just learning about GIFs. We're going to publish this post. And it's going to give us an option. We can either tag one of our suggestions that we've saved to our library, or we can continue without a suggestion. Let's continue without a suggestion this time, because we have the lovely little GIF that is actually kind of terrifying. That is just Mozart's face moving. But he also wants to talk about my favorite movie. Wonder why, LOL. This time we're not going to put in an image here. We are just going to go straight to publish post. And this time we will select Amadeus from our list of saved suggestions here. And we'll say, yes, add this suggestion. And as you can see, it's going to plug in the movie poster or the TV poster, the book cover, the album cover. And also, if we click recommend or not recommend, it's going to bring up either a green thumbs up or a red thumbs down. So that's basically how it works. One last feature I want to show you, or a couple more features. Let's say Mozart got a little nervous about this. He didn't get the post reactions he wanted. So he's going to go ahead and delete his post here. Never mind. I'll go back to the drawing board and start that again. He sees his pal Beethoven's been posted on here. So he wants to throw some post reactions up on his pal Beethoven's posts. Maybe he doesn't want to say he hates it. So he pulls that one off. He sees that Beethoven's kind of roasting people here, so he's going to tell him to calm down. You don't need to do that much. And when he publishes that comment, we'll see it here, right here. And let's say he says, Beethoven, I kind of know this guy. We're not really friends, but I kind of know him. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to him. When you subscribe to a user, we close out here. We can see that when we go to our library, which is another page I haven't showed you, this shows all of our different save suggestions all in one place across the different content hubs. And then also it'll show us anybody we've subscribed to, it'll show us their suggestions down here. We can't change the recommend status because they're not our suggestions, but we can cycle through them and see them. And also we will see that person's posts here on our homepage as well now. And if we, have a change of heart, say maybe Beethoven's being a little too mean to people. Snooze Fest 2024, this stinks so bad. He's talking about Schubert. What is going on? Who hurt you, Beethoven? We're going to unsubscribe, but then when we close here, we will see all the posts are gone. So that is it. Decidify, your new favorite app. I would love any questions that you have.
Today I want to introduce my A-Nya project. I create this app for people who love traveling as me. And on this website, they can see basic information about 103 countries, some recommendation about food to try and places to go. So let's start. So now you can see a login page, but also if you don't have an account, you can register. So let's start from here. So now we register some random person. It's not much. Okay, so and register. I don't know what's wrong with that. Let's try again. Yes. And now we automatically will log into our homepage with greeting, welcome to TAO. And now we go to countries list and we can see our country list. So if we have any special country what we want to read about, we can use our search. So let's see, for example, United States. So now we can see our basic information, but we want to learn more about that. So we click read more, and now we can see our cities list, our food to try, and also places to visit. That's pretty much it for users. But if I log out and log in as admin, I will have the same homepage, but also I will have users list, so I can see information about all users who register to my app. I can see same country list, but also I have opportunity to add new country or delete any of my countries or maybe update. So let's try to add new one. We just put any information what we want to and click save. So now we can search for this Testaland, and I also mentioned that I put wrong capital, so I can update it and put right capital. Save, and now it was changed. So everything good here, but now I decide that I don't want this country anymore in my list, so I click delete. And now if I want to search for this country, no matches, no country as test or Testaland or something. Actually, just last week, I was at new place in United States and I want to add it. So I have Chicago in my cities list. So I don't need to add this city, but let's add new place. So it will be Skydesk. Place type. And also I select city, which connect to this place and click save. So now if I scroll down, I can see this new place and information about that. But also, maybe I want to change something. Maybe I want to change beautiful for awesome because it's pretty awesome view. And I click save. And now it was updated. But maybe now I decide that it's pretty much beautiful place, but I don't want to recommend it anymore. So I can just click delete, and no Chicago's Skydesk anymore in my places to visit. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, feel free to ask.
Okay, so I am Max Aguilar, and this is my app, Max Auto. At its core, it is a car resale simulator, which is something that hasn't been done, at least from what I can see on my search on the internet. There are some kind of similar things, but this is fairly unique in the aspect that it allows you to test your knowledge of the car market and the value of cars, and It also allows people that aren't car enthusiasts to get in and try car resale and collecting for themselves. This was pretty much just done as a passion project because I enjoy buying cars and putting parts in them and trying to resell them. Now keep in mind, this is a functional app right now, but it is not completely finished. This is a long-term app that's meant to be used over a long period of time, not just ran through quickly. So there's a path we're going to follow today. Here is a car market, and as you can see, we have $10,000 in our wallet. This is what all new users start with. There is a lot of cars in here, more to come. But today we're going to be focusing on trying to buy this 1986 Toyota Sprinter Trueno. And any car enthusiast knows why this is a special little Corolla. But to buy this, we will need $20,000, which we do not have yet. So our goal will be to find cars that are in good shape with relatively low mileage and at a good price for resale. So, for example, this Mazda Miata, they have been going up in price recently. I believe they're around 10,000 for a mint condition one like this with the hard top. So I'm going to purchase this, and it'll appear in our garage. From here, we could add upgrades. We could edit it and add a nickname, or we can try to sell it. So just for now, we're going to try to sell it maybe for right under 10,000 because I believe that's what it's worth. So we will sell, and we could have got $1 more. So we were pretty much spot on. Let's see. Maybe we want Camry. This is the manual variant of the 2007 Camry. These have been going up as well. So we'll purchase that. And we'll see what I can get out of it. Maybe 9,000. Oh, I guess it's too high. So let's cut our losses and try 7,500. That's exactly what it's worth. And as you can see, the wallet's climbing. So we're going to repeat this process real quick with some other cars. These SVTs, it's getting really hard to find them in pristine condition like this. And this is low mileage. So, and a manual. So we'll try to sell this for 15,500. I don't really think it's worth that, but the market might say differently. And we could have got 500 more. So we're doing pretty good. And we're almost at our goal. So what about one more? Here's a Honda CRX. These are gorgeous cars. And we will purchase that. That's a fantastic price. And maybe we can rename it real quick and just call it the Cool CRX. So this is the Cool CRX. And I'm going to try to sell it for 17,000. I think anyone would buy a Cool CRX for 17,000. And apparently they would. So we now have enough money to buy our dream car, which was the Trueno. So we will purchase that. And now we want to make it our own. So maybe we'll upgrade it, add some parts. Maybe we want a turbo. We got to go fast. Maybe we want a sports computer, keep it tuned. And maybe we want it to be obnoxiously loud, so we'll straight pipe it. So now we have all these upgrades, and I can call it maybe Max's Cool Toyota Sprinter Trueno, or maybe even, since it's the Panda Bear, it's the Panda variant, we call it the Panda Bear. The black and white Panda variant. So, and finally, we will try to sell it for a profit. I think with all these parts added to it and that cool name we gave it, I think we can get 29,500. So we will sell it. And boom, we're back to the car market with more money in our wallet. Now, before I finish the presentation, I'd like to say that during the real launch of this app, there will be only certain cars generated each day. And once you buy a car, you will not be able to buy another one. It's just, I have everything laid out here, so I could show it all off in one demonstration. Thank you, and I'm open to any questions.
My name is Norman Henderson, and this is my app, Track, that lets users track their travel. We'll just log in as an existing user. Here's the homepage, and you can see trips of what you've actually made and other users. If you pick a trip from another user, you can view it and see their details when it was published. And then if you view one of your own, you can actually edit it and delete it. If you didn't want to put something, or if you forgot to put something. And we can go ahead and make a new trip. We'll say it was Fridays ago. You can add your title. And you can also enter a URL image link that will populate it. And it just helps users track where they've been or where they're going. And it just helps you keep everything organized. And if we want to log out and log in as a different user, let's say they didn't want to post something, they can go back to the trips and go to their post and delete it as well. And everything updates and shows correctly for them and other users. And that is Track.
Okay, well, my name is Anna Thompson, and I would like to welcome you to Bookshelf, a social media platform for book lovers. Users can create personalized profiles to showcase their reading interests and track their personal libraries. Bookshelf provides users with an online book community where they can participate in discussions, share insights, and discover new books together. So users must have a registered account to access Bookshelf, and they can do that by clicking the register button here. And this is where the user would enter in all of their personalized information. And once they do that, they would press the register button. But for the sake of this demo, I'm going to use my own profile. So I'm going to log in as myself and enter my password. When I'm ready, I'll press login. And as you can see, now we're back to my own account. And this is my Bookshelf profile. I have my own profile picture, bio, and username handle that other users can see whenever they visit my page. I can also edit my profile if I'd like. And let's say that I'm not just an avid audiobooker, I am super pumped to be an avid audiobooker. And when I'm ready, I can press save and the changes are made accordingly. I also have my own personal library, my list of book clubs that I've enrolled in, and my list of friends who I follow to keep up with their reading journey. Before we dive into all things books, let me show you how Bookshelf users can interact. As you can see, I already have a couple of friends that I follow, and if I want to view their profile, I can click on their username. So let's see what my friend Austin is reading. And as you can see, we are now viewing Austin's profile. It looks exactly like my profile, except I cannot edit or delete any of Austin's books or book clubs. If I wanted to, I could click any name on his friends list to view their profile as well. And when I'm ready, I can go back to my profile by clicking the profile button. But wait, I know my friend Katie is also on Bookshelf. So, and I think her username starts with Kayo. So I'm going to go ahead in the search bar and I'm going to type in Kayo and press search. And I think that's her. So I'm going to click on it, and it is. And I can follow her if I want. So I can click the follow button. And if I redirect back to my profile, you can see her username is now in my friends list. Now that we're back to my profile, let's dive into my library. As you can see, I've started to keep track of some of the books I've read in the past year. And notice my progress bars. If I've completed the book, the progress bar shows as green, and I get a banner that tells me and my friends that the book has been completed. However, look at Crescent City. My progress bar is blue because that's what I'm still currently reading. But let's say that I've spent the day reading and I finished it. I can now edit that to reflect my current progress. So I can say I'm no longer on page 700, I'm finished, and I'm on page 816, and I can press save. And now that it is showing that I've completed my book. But that means I need to add a new book now. So I need to find and add a book button, and I am taken to the add a book section. If you look here, there is a search bar that is connected to a database that lists all of the books that have been created by other Bookshelf users. So I want to see if anyone has read the second book in the Crescent City series, which is House of Sky and Breath. So I can begin searching, and I can see that, well, someone's read Crescent City and someone's read House of Flame and Shadow, but they haven't read House of Sky and Breath, which is fine, because if I don't see my book, I can add a new book. So I can do that by now entering the title. So Crescent City, House of Sky and Breath. I know the author is Sarah J. Maas. It is fiction, and it is 900 pages. When I'm ready to save that book, I'll press save, and I should be able to search. Oh, there it is. It's now in the database, and I can add it to my personal library by selecting the select button. And as you can see, it's now added to my library, and I can begin to edit my progress as I wish. If you redirect your attention to my book clubs, you will not only see that I've been added to, I've added House of Sky and Breath to my library, but I've also been added to a book club. And for the sake of this demo, I'm going to show you the Crescent City book club because that's what my friends and I have been reading together. So when I'm ready to visit my book club, I can click the title and I'm taken to a chat room where my friends have already begun talking about it. So Katie couldn't believe what happened at the very end, and Austin really loved Crescent City. And I can add my own thoughts by saying, oh, I loved this book. I just finished it. When I'm ready, I can send my message. And if I want to delete my message, I can do that too. When I'm ready, I can go back to my own profile, and I can also remove books from my profile if I'd like. And when I'm ready to log out, I'll press log out and I'm redirected back to my login portal. Thank you for taking time to listen to me talk about my app Bookshelf. Are there any questions?
I'm going to introduce you to Game Hub. I created this because schedules would not always allow for me to get to play the games I want with the people I want. So this seemed like a fun solution to that. I'm going to log in as a DM, and you can see a little bit about yourself when you log in. I should have mentioned you can register as a user on the other page too. You can edit your profile here. Like, he really likes tabletop games. You can see other players on this screen, and you can see a little bit about them if you're interested in them. And on the game page, this is where you can chat with other players and try and set up games. And it's not just for Dungeons and Dragons. You can set up card games, video games, a little bit of all that. I previously set up a session going on there. Then can do that. And if I don't like, it's a weird place to do that, sorry. But what I really like about this is it is live. They can chat with each other. They used to could. That's Game Hub. Any questions?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Carrie Ray, and I am excited to be here today to introduce you to Portfolio Stacks, a web application I have developed to revolutionize the way homeschooling parents manage their children's portfolios. As a homeschooling mom, I understand firsthand the challenges of keeping track of documentation for my son's annual portfolio review. In West Virginia, it's a state requirement for us to undergo annual assessments of his progress, which are then reviewed by a certified teacher and submitted to our local Board of Education. Traditionally, as a family, we've relied on cumbersome paper-based systems, printing out worksheets, completing them, and storing them in a physical book. However, with the need to share these documents with my son's virtual teacher, as well as later to a reviewer for assessment, it became clear to me that there had to be a more efficient solution. That's where Portfolio Stacks comes in. I envisioned a centralized platform where homeschooling parents like myself could seamlessly store and manage all their child's progress documentation. After submitting the necessary information to the teacher, why not have a digital space where all these scans could reside, easily accessible for reviewers? Portfolio Stacks isn't just about digitizing paperwork, it's about simplifying and archiving the entire portfolio management process. So we do have a login page right here, and you can register, but for today's purposes, I am going to log in as my administrative account. That way you can see all of the features that I have already included. Okay, upon arriving at the Portfolio Stacks homepage, you will see several links to various navigation options across the top, as well as some learn more links across the bottom. Let's dive into these features together. First, we're going to view our students. These are all the students in my household, where you can access powerful tools to manage the educational journey of each of the students in the family. Let's see here. So you have the ability to add a student to your household. Put them in first grade. Submit. You're going to populate down here at the bottom. You have the ability to edit them. I'm going to put them in 12th grade and say they've graduated. And now that they have graduated, I can delete them from my profile. Today, I'm going to be selecting the top listed student, Cohen, to showcase the sample portfolio that I have prepared for you to view. Here you are directed to the child's portfolio information that is sorted by year. Today, we are going to be viewing the 2023-2024, better known as Cohen's first grade year. A stretch goal of this project is allowing parents to customize their date range more specifically, because as homeschoolers, the way we track our children's progress does not necessarily match that of a public school environment. This feature also offers an edit button and a create new portfolio option. All right, so probably here is the pinnacle of our platform. This is our child's individual portfolio. This is where we will find a treasure trove of their worksheets, photos, and eventually videos, all meticulously documenting their journey through the academic year. Undoubtedly, this is the most crucial, but the most challenging feature of this website. Within each portfolio item, you will find dedicated spaces where they can detail their assignments. These include fields for project title, subject, date of completion, and a short description area to articulate what was learned during the assignment. This structured format ensures that comprehensive documentation of your child's academic endeavors. After completing the assignment details, you'll have the option to seamlessly add any corresponding documents, worksheets, field trip photos, or project assignments. This feature ensures that all aspects of your child's educational journey are neatly integrated into their portfolio. Furthermore, each item on this page can be created, edited, and deleted, providing you with complete control over your child's portfolio. This flexibility allows you to tailor and refine their educational records with ease. Let me demonstrate this functionality now by adding a new portfolio item. I'm going to give it a subject and a title. Basically just a category and a description of the worksheet. And it's going to populate down here at the bottom. Oh, I just realized that I put this as math and it is actually a reading assignment. So I'm going to edit that to reading. And then to go along with my description, I am going to add a photo of the worksheet using an upload feature. I'll get a little check mark right here that lets me know that my file is ready to be uploaded. Hit the upload button and it is going to attach here at the bottom. So now he's got a project title of reading, a project subject at words, and the date completed is March 18, 2024. All right, there you have it. A new portfolio item was added swiftly and ready for review when the time comes. Overall, as challenging as the upload feature was, I'm extremely happy to be here able to present this project to you today. Does anyone have any questions?
Keep is a bar management and point of sale software. We all enjoy drinking responsibly, and a lot goes into that on the other side of things, on the other side of bar, and how we manage that business and how we can facilitate that to make it fun for you and easy for us, the people who do bartend. So, of course, if we were new to Barkeep, we could go ahead and create a new account. But we are going to first log in with our admin settings to kind of see some of the built-in features that come with Barkeep to help make this really awesome for you. So when we log in, we have a couple different things that we can go through. First, we have our locations. Barkeep is going to have everything, every single country located in case you need to link like wines or beers or anything, booze, to any type of region. We can add states. We have cities that we've added in. For our states, we, of course, have tons and tons and tons that are broken up into various like provinces or various, municipalities that might exist across different types of countries. And then we also have things like regions. Regions are going to be like, say, things that aren't necessarily bound to a specific type of municipality. So we have like the Altos Highlands, for example, in Jalisco, Mexico, where all the tequila comes from. That is going to stretch across multiple municipalities. So that would be a way to classify and categorize some of the other features that we're getting ready to talk about here in a second. First up, we have categories next. So for our categories, Barkeep comes built in with almost every single type of like booze, wine, and beer category that you could think of. So let's say if we want to take a look at all of our whiskeys, we can take a look at what goes into a Canadian whiskey, what goes into a blended whiskey, what goes into a bourbon whiskey. We can do the exact same thing with all of our ales, right? What goes into an APA, a black IPA, a blonde ale. This again is going to be useful in a few more moments, as we'll see. And then last but not least, we have components. Now, components are going to be what is like the bread and butter. These are going to be admin approved kind of general templates that you can create as inventory inside of your bar. And each component is going to have a category or a type. You're going to have of course, the percentage of booze. IBU, if it's a type of beer or other types of liquors that have really specific like bitter profiles. The year, which is really important for wines, and your producers, importers, and whether or not it is an approved component by the admin. If we want to, we can add a new component right here. And this is going to take you through all the steps of adding a new component. As an admin, we get to do this pretty much from just this backend. We don't get to touch other people's like point of sales and their menus and everything they're working for, but we do get to kind of take a look at everything and manage everything. And that's what the general gist of admin is in this app. But the real fun part comes when you get to use it as a paying customer, because I did kind of build this as like a subscription as a service type of app. So let's go ahead and log in as Juan, right? And we are now, I still have access to categories, components, locations, but now I have this beautiful bars tab. And when I click on bars, I have a couple bars that I have like already kind of launched up. Bottoms up, where the drinks are as cheap as me, and therapy, which is what I'm going to be doing next week. So I'm very excited for that whole process. When we add a new bar, let's say we're calling it the Hollaback, right? Up here in the hills. And we play nothing but Gwen Stefani. We're going to have our phone number as the general 22222. Why not? hollabackgirl@email.com. It's Gwen. And this is me, 123 Fantasy Boulevard. For our city, let's see. We do have some user added cities already, but I want to add a new city. Let's say we're doing this in the great city of New York. We're going to save that bad boy. And yeah, we're going to save our new bar. Now it's automatically going to take me to my Hollaback inventory, where here I can go to my inventory dashboard, where I get to search for inventory, but I haven't really added an inventory. And I can also search and create menus, of course, if I wanted to add a menu. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of the bars that I've been working on. Let's go to Bottoms Up, where everybody's your best friend. So let's go to the Bottoms Up dashboard. And here you can see I have some inventory that I've already added. I have added some Absolute, I've added some club soda, I've added some lemon juice and some simple syrup. Let's pick a lucky volunteer. Alex, what is your favorite cocktail to order at a bar?
Oh, I'm an old-fashioned girl.
Let's do it. So let's think about the inventory that we need to create to make an old-fashioned. First of all, we definitely need a whiskey. What is your favorite whiskey, Alex?
Okay, I'm actually a bourbon old-fashioned drinker. What is my favorite? Contradiction.
Contradiction. So first, when we create a new inventory, we can search to see if contradiction is actually inside of our inventory list already. Of course, we have Absolute and tons of that, but we don't. But that's not a problem. That's not going to slow us down. We get to add this component right from our page. So I'm going to say this is going to be a liquor. ABV contradiction is going to be high proof, so that is going to be a 45% APV. That is going to be a corn mash, and that is going to be located in the Great Whiskey Trail in our beautiful neighbor, Kentucky. I'm not sure about the producer. I'm not sure about the importer. If I did have that information and it wasn't available to the ones I've already added, of course, I could add a new producer and that'll pop up right there. The year is really safe for wine. And let's just go ahead and say that it's close to Loretta in Kentucky. We are going to go ahead and save this. And now I have my contradiction bourbon, and I can stock this component now. Now, as I'm stocking this component, you're going to see my base levels. You're going to have a quantity that's a 0, an automatic recommended markup that's going to be 300% to make sure we maintain profitability across our labor costs, our general cost of goods, and then that last third will be recommended to be keep as our profit margin. But how do I want to track this inventory? So I'm going to track this inventory as a 1 liter bottle. Once I have entered that information, now I get to decide how I want this inventory to be, like if I want to go ahead and add some stock to it. So let's say I'm probably expecting a lot of contradiction bourbon drinks coming up soon. They're doing a tasting, we're having a sponsor. I'm going to go ahead and add 5 1 liter bottles. Those are 1 unit each. And contradiction kind of pretty pricey. So we're going to say I got a deal. We're going to do that at $4.99. I've got an automatic generated cost per ounce, which is going to further help me determine things I've been working on in a few moments. And I definitely want to include this in my cost per ounce. So we're going to go ahead and save, and we're going to go ahead and add that inventory. Now we're definitely going to need Angostura bitters, and we're going to make this process go a little bit quicker. Oh. Uh-oh. We're going to do a quick little reset, and then we're going to add some new inventory. Angostura. This is going to be a liquor, because bitters are liquors. They're also pretty high and boozy. And we don't really need any of that right now. We're going to save, we're going to stock this component, and we're going to actually track this as a 5 fluid ounce bottle, because they're smaller, right, when it comes to our bitters. And I'm going to add 3 5 fluid ounce bottles to my inventory, containing 1 each at a cost of, let's say, $14.99, which gives me a pretty high cost per ounce. That's just one of these bitters and dashes, so that kind of makes sense. We're going to save. We're going to go ahead and add that bad boy in, and now you can see I have Angostura bitters right here. Now I already have simple syrup, so we're already good to go. Let's go ahead and start making this. So we're going to go to our menus, and here in our menus, oh wait, before we go to our menus, let's take a look at our simple syrup. So simple syrup, here, of course, I can adjust it. And we have to make simple syrup from something, right? So we make it from sugar, which is also going to be in my inventory. So we have white sugar, of course, right down here at the bottom. And we can add an inventory link. So whenever I stock simple syrup now, it will automatically deduct the correct quantity, no matter what type of unit conversion I put in, from the white sugar. So, for example, I have to move my little zoom bar because, there we go. So we have white sugar as a dry good, and I originally got it in as a 50-pound bag, right? But I went ahead and already made some simple syrup. So these are going to be my adjustments from that, but let's go ahead and make some more. Let's say we had a really busy day. So we're going to adjust our simple syrup, and we are going to add another adjustment. Now, we're going to add, let's say, 2 quarts each. And 0, it's not costing us anything to make it other than our labor. And then now that we have that, we see we have our inventory link. And we also got our little price. Simple syrup is currently costing us 15 cents per ounce. And we have a quantity of 2. Now let's go back. And notice that our white sugar went down by a lot, because I probably messed something up in my algorithm, but that will be fixed very, very soon. So let's go and start making this old-fashioned. So here we have our menu dashboard. This is my dinner menu. And menus are broken up into categories and menu items, and coming soon, modifiers. Now here are some new categories that I've already made. Of course, we have cocktails, we have liquor, we have by the glass wines, and I broke it up into further categories, which you can see are parented from the by the glass category. So we already have a cocktail category. So let's go ahead and add a new menu item. So we're going to call this contradiction old-fashioned. We're going to go ahead and give this a new category of cocktails. And I'm not going to touch the price yet because I kind of want this to be determined by what we put in it, right? So if I'm going to go to my bill and I can add a new bill part, right? And I'm going to mark contradiction bourbon as my primary component, right? And what goes into an old-fashioned? 2 fluid ounces of bourbon. And as you can see, because I put 2 fluid ounces of bourbon in there, my suggested price has already jumped up to make sure that I am making correct and accurate pricing for my menu. Then we're also going to have our Angostura bitters. And we're going to do 4 dashes of those, which then also popped up my suggested price even more. We're going to add our new part, and that is going to be simple syrup, which this does scare me a little bit considering how much it depleted that sugar, but we're about to find out. And then we're going to have 0.5 simple syrup, which of course simple syrup is only 15 cents per ounce, so that's not going to really do anything. I'm going to add some notes that we are going to stir in a mixing glass, strain over a king cube in a rocks glass, garnish with an orange twist. That way, bartenders inside of my point of sale, if they've never made an old fashioned before, eventually they'll be able to click on that menu item and get all that yummy information that we're getting ready to put in. So we're going to add this menu item to our menu. Hopefully, ideally. Oh, wow. Something may have gone amiss. So in the perfect world, we would have been able to add the old fashioned. Oh, I know exactly why it didn't do it. We're going to do it again. It's because I didn't put in the price. I was waiting for the suggested price. Sorry, I've had way too much coffee. And simple soup. And you put and Angostura bitters. 4 dashes. And now, because our suggested price is saying it's $9.46 for an old fashioned with contradiction, I'm going to be a little bit greedy because we're probably going to make a lot of these, and we definitely want to be a successful business. So I'm going to go ahead and set that price at 11. And now we're going to add that menu item. And there, ta-da, we have our menu item all locked in. So now that I have a vodka gimlet and a contradiction old fashioned, we're going to show you the very starts of my point of sale. This has been a very big project, and I'm very excited to continue working on it as I crank out everything that a point of sale is that I was not able to accomplish here in a couple of weeks. But we are going to power on. So if I launch my point of sale, here I'm able to select my different menus. Of course, if I select happy hour, I don't have really anything in my happy hour menu yet. So I select my dinner menu, and here I have my top level categories, which are cocktails, liquors, and wine. If I select on wine, then I get to see my subcategories with my parent category at top. Eventually, you will see all the items listed right here below, and this will be your little order catch area with your beautiful "May I please take your money" button. And then we can go back to dinner, and we can see our cocktails, right? Or we will, probably like next week. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe, follow my journey on GitHub, and thank you for giving me this journey. Just to lay some intentions, like I do really love the hospitality industry. And this app I created from my frustrations with really bad and poorly designed softwares that really can't give me the information that I want if you are managing large scale bar operations. So it is going to be a work in progress right now, very function over form, which I do eventually plan on making it beautiful. And there's going to be a lot more stuff that I want to be able to do with it, which I feel capable because of NewForce, that this is a project I can keep working on and keep succeeding in. And yeah, thank you for your time. Are there any questions I can answer for anybody?
My name is Colin Boyder, and I would like to welcome you to Scrapbook, the app that I built for my final capstone at NewForce. Scrapbook is a family memory sharing app that allows members of extended family to share photos and posts with one another so that grandkids, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings can all stay connected. So here we have our Scrapbook splash page. And I am currently logged in as myself because I'm the admin for this app. And we see here at the top of Scrapbook, we have our nav bar. Scrapbook and home will bring us to home where we are currently. We can also click on users and see the list of users. And this is actually all of my real family. And as the admin, I can also add a user. We'll come back to that later. We can look at all of our scraps, which are our posts. And we can also, across the top, we can look at our own posts under My Scraps. So if we take a look at scraps, we'll see this first scrap is Christmas with all of the kids. This is actually my real family. And this post was posted by my husband, who is named Dad, our user called Dad. And you'll note that on the bottom of the post, I cannot edit or delete the post because it's not my post. I would need to be logged in as that user to edit and delete. But the next post that we see does allow us to edit and delete because it is my post. And we see that each post or each scrap features up to 4 photos and 4 captions. But you don't have to have that many if you don't want it. It also features a category. This one is filed under the category of Christmas, and some copy where you can talk about what happened for that day. So if we take a look at, let's take a look at my own scraps. So whoever you're logged in as, they can view their own scraps under My Scraps, and they can edit and delete. And one of the cool things that's happened for our family in recent years was the opportunity to go to India. So this is a post about our time at the Taj Mahal in Agra while we were there. And we were actually in India because my little sister Delia was married in India to her husband, who is from there. And so here's a post about what happened for the ceremony. And let's say that my sister Delia wanted to add a post about her wedding as well, but she is actually not a user yet. I can go ahead and I can add her as a user. So let's go ahead and we'll do that now. And I've got an image all set up for her. And so I'll go ahead and save for a new user. And now we see that she appears in the list of new users. And so say she would like to go ahead and create her own scrap. Let's go ahead and log out as myself, and we're going to log in as her. And you'll notice as we log in as her, she can view all of the scraps. There's a list of all of them. But if she clicks on My Scrap, she doesn't have any yet. So we're going to go ahead and add a scrap now. So I've got some copy all ready to go and some photos all ready to go for this scrap. And she's going to talk about the mehendi that she had before her wedding. So we're going to categorize it under the category of wedding. And then we're going to go ahead and add some photos. And perhaps she only wants to have one caption for her photos, and the other ones she's not going to go ahead and caption, at least not right now. We're going to go ahead and submit a scrap. And it looks like that first photo didn't come through. But let's say I chose the wrong name of the photo. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this. So I'll go into edit and I'm going to edit that, and you'll see that that's now been saved. And we get to see the beautiful mehendi that we got to take part in. And mehendi, for those who may not know, we call henna here in the US, and it's a traditional part of a bridal ceremony in India. And we were really privileged to be able to take part in that. So that was a beautiful day. And so now we see her post has worked. And now if we go to look at all of the scraps, we see that this one is now showing in the list of all of our scraps. And we also have a feature to search for a keyword. So say we wanted to go into our keyword search and search for wedding and click search. And that will bring up not only the post that she just created, but any other post where there's been the word wedding has been used either in the copy or in the category. And so there we have our overview of Scrapbook. And I really hope that you enjoyed this. And I want to give a special shout out to NewForce and our instructors, Tommy, Sarah, Barry, and Rebecca on Career Prep, because they have been just really instrumental in helping me and have been wonderful. So thank you.